Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome tonight to the Clash Royale Week 4 in the Spring 2021 tournament. I'm Ampulio, and I'm here with Watson, my co-caster. How are you, Watson?
Feeling amazing, and it is great to be back here at the Royale for, as you say, Week 4, the first week of March. Midway through the tournament already. How fast has it been?
Bit too fast, really. It's gone so very, very fast, especially last week. A bit too fast for my liking, but hopefully looking to bring out this week and have some very good fights that are lined up for you tonight.
Indeed, we do. As you know by now, we are looking for the top 8 scorers from this ranking process we're going through now. Each night, everyone's getting a few points to add to the total and increase their place in the league. The finals, of course, being on the 29th of March, where the top 8 will take it out. And it's already looking pretty strong for a couple of our contenders. Our current leader, Chocoholic, after putting in a first in 2 seconds, we're in a pretty safe position. But with Mushroom, now with 2 wins under his belt, very close behind. And of course, Mushroom's win last week over Chocoholic was deeply impressive. But before we start going into everything for that, we have a new player. Coming back from the first season of the Royale, JJ Legend himself. The man, the myth, the legend, you could say. And there's been a lot of talk in the chat between everyone. But everyone's very excited to see this return to form, hopefully.
I think they certainly are, and Will, especially one who was looking forward to it, perhaps some sort of a challenge between, obviously, last season's champion and, a former champion. Bit of a clash of titans, and pun unintended as always. But yeah, as you say, finals looking good on, end of March, as you said. And we'll have to see if this race does really heat up. Obviously, we've got the big contenders at the top, CPL, Mushroom, and Will, and see if JJ Legend, despite coming in late, see if he can get some points on the board.
Well, I think it's very likely, given looking at the rest of the competition, he's going to do at least pretty good if he can put in the performances we've seen from him before here at the Royale. Be interested to see if he's still got the form and how much he's been playing in the meantime. The meta has shifted, cards have changed, and of course, the people here have only just got better. Looking back at last week, well, before we look back at last week, let's focus on this week. We have JJ Legend versus Chocoholic. The bans, JJ Legend with Graveyard, Chocoholic with Mini P.E.K.K.A. Something we've not seen banned very often here at the Royale.
Yeah, not really at all. And CPL, I think P.E.K.K.A. is pretty much his signature card that he's been using. So, well, we'll have to see how well he does cope. As Goblin in the cage, he's put down by JJ Legend. Fisherman going to be trying to do a bit of damage, but actually going to take a lot of damage from him, and he may get finished off by, in fact, the Goblin. Musketeer doesn't need to do any job and may actually take out the Zappies. Had a bit of trouble, but isn't going to struggle too much. Sparky right at the back, building all the way up in the attack, isn't going to be affected by the Zappies who are taken down by the Musketeer. But on the left side, Chocoholic dropping the Royal Giant, going to do a lot of damage. Counterattack is ready and here for JJ Legend. Dark Knight and the 2 minions on the left side, and Sparky on the right. He's going to do a nice hit, but it's only the Electric Spirit who isn't actually going to completely nullify the damage. But on the left side, a lot of damage has been done, and basically brings it to even terms.
Indeed, we've seen a good transfer there, but I'd say the Legend is coming out just ahead on damage on towers. If you look at that one on the left there even, it's just below 1,000, where Chocoholic's a bit higher, but still all to play for. What we saw was very interesting there, because as soon as JJ put down his Sparky, the Royal Giant was immediately rolled out from Chocoholic, trying to get that window advantage. And here is Chocoholic using one of the decks I was talking to you in the pre-stream about, that we get a lot of. This double Giant combo of Giant Skeleton and Royal Giant. But here's a beautiful example of kiting coming in here with that Goblin Giant just getting the bomb out of the picture. And the Sparky moves in with the Dark Prince. This could make a good play.
You say that, and the Barbarian Barrel does just about take away the attack from the Sparky, who's looking to charge it for another hit, and just about gets it off. He takes down the tower with it, and well, Chocoholic, he's got to answer.
Sparky hits are always some of the hypest moments in Clash Royale. It builds up, and then you get the hit in, and it's just like, lovely. And we're coming straight in. Tries to respond with the Royal Giant, but doesn't really get that much damage off. Now, will JJ Legend attempt to defend it out, or is he going to go for the 3 crown with that Sparky at the back? It looks like it. Can he defend against this push coming in on the right, though? Let's see.
Oh, he's actually going to counter with his own Royal Giant going down, but perhaps time's it's ticking down. 15 seconds left. The Goblin Cage is going to take up a lot of that damage, but on the left side, even if Chocolate can get the Royal Giant to take on the tower. We've got a beautiful attack on the left side as it just gets taken down by the Hunter. Fireball going in, it goes down to the wire. But the Giant goes down, and time runs out just in time for JJ. And he does take the first map.
Indeed,
so well
that
played.
was so close, that first game. Very close between both of them. Chocoholic, his Royal Giant only needed a couple more hits, probably, to take out that right-hand tower. What I feel Chocoholic went wrong there was probably having the split push. Both the towers were somewhat damaged. And if he'd been able to get the first, that would have been a huge advantage going into the second. However, we saw Legend buy his time with the Sparky, a card that I've always felt is definitely underpowered in the current meta of things, especially at this high level. And one hit is all that matters when it comes to a Sparky. As we run into the second game.
See if they do change it up, and immediately, straight off the bat, JJ does. He drops the Goblin Barrel over the left side. It's countered immediately by the Barbarian Barrel, and that does give CPL a bit of a lead in Elixir, but they both actually let it build up. Drops the Goblin Cage quite defensively, waiting to see what JJ can pull out, and he pulls out quite a... we haven't seen this card much this tournament, have we, so far?
No, the Firecracker is definitely a different card from a lot of what we've seen. What we're seeing is a very log-baity deck from Legend as he puts down a Skarmy on the bridge and the King Tower is activated. That's one of the problems with the Firecracker. It has this really big area of effect and it splashes out. It's great against a Horde, but it's one of the cards that's very easy in accidentally activating the King Tower, which is going to massively weaken the Goblin Barrel coming out of Legend here.
Yeah, that's perfectly played by CPL. And obviously, as you say, activating that is going to give him an extra hand in defending anything. As he does basically clean out the boards. One's going down, no issues at all. And, well, JJ slightly in the lead with Elixir. But he's going to go once again with the Firecracker. And CPL once again defensively with the Goblin Cage. We've obviously seen the attack with the Royal Hogs. And so far, with the bit of a split attack, is better in terms of the HP advantage. And while the Goblin Barrel, it just may not work out. Obviously, as you see, the Barbarian Barrel straight out again to counter it. And Royal Hogs coming back out from CPL, but they don't quite make it to the tower. On the right side, they do. The Bats going to be chipping them away, but they do a lot of damage. Once again, Hunter going down, getting one shot off. Nothing significant. CPL, he's theoretically staying in the lead.
Well, yeah, Chocoholic here is showing that he can deal with a split. He's doing a lot of damage to both towers. It's giving an opportunity if he loses one to make sure he keeps going. That was his weakness in the last game, however, because the damage has been spread out as the Fireball goes in, just cleaning out the Firecracker. But this is where I feel Legend is losing. He's not finding a way of baiting out that Barbarian Barrel, or Chocoholic is just sitting on it as we see the Royal Recruits go down. A really good Elixir value with the Giant Skeleton at the back. It's double Elixir. Let's see what these decks really have in store for us.
It's basically a perfect counter to the Giant Skeleton. They're just going to sit there. They're going to distract him. They're going to do a lot of damage. He does put down the bats to support the Giant Skeleton, but the Electric Spirit is going to take them back out in return. Left side Skeleton Army going to push through. And the flying to the cannon, yeah, it's going to take them out, but still be alive. Eventually gets taken down by the tower. Royal Hogs going to be going in to do as much damage as they can. Giant Skeleton take down the right side. The Royal Recruits come back out again, and CPL, he's wearing away that tower, doing so much damage. We'll have to see if he can hold on and actually continue to push through. The attack on the left side, the Giant Skeleton does have to have his way cleared by the Hunter. He's going to continue to march. And what will CPL do to counter it? He drops down Zappies right in the middle of the final card. They neutralize the Giant Skeleton and the bomb from it. It is perfectly played as JJ, he drops his final card, and that's the Royal Giant, supported by a Skeleton Army.
JJ also using a double Giant deck that I've been talking about quite a bit, but Chocoholic's been able to chip away on both towers and he's looking very strong. If he can shut down this push, which it looks like he effectively has now, with that Flying Machine finishing off the Giant Skeleton outside of the tower range, he's got a really good shot here. Now, does he have Barbarian Barrel in play? We saw him use it earlier. No, but the Electro Spirit does a good enough job, and the Pigs and the Fireball should easily be enough, I think, to take that right tower. No, it's not! Just about clinging on, but he can Fireball rotate to take it if he wants. He's just got to defend against this double Giant push.
Yeah, and that's certainly looking formidable on the left side. The Firecracker to support him up as well. Barbarian Barrel going down is going to take her out. The Skeleton Army behind the back. Royal Giant trying to do damage, but it's too late. Too little, too late. CPL does throw in the Fireball, takes down that final tower, and brings it even to a 1-1 score.
Yeah, Chocoholic showing why he won that first week and why he is definitely a formidable contender here at the Neil. JJ Legend definitely showed his power in that game, however, wasn't able to get those pushes through. And it was, I think, the Goblin Barrel being countered by the Barbarian Barrel that was the real problem. He couldn't really get around it, and as a result, ended up in the position you're in.
Yeah, essentially, he was completely, as you say, completely neutralized. Obviously, he uses the Barbarian Barrel. He gets a positive trade of 1 elixir, and also the fact that the King Tower was activated. That's an extra thing taking down those goblins, and the Goblin Barrel completely useless. So hopefully he'll learn his lesson, not bring that back out once again. And well, we'll have to see if he has a different deck or if he brings out the first one that he initially won with. As we do get into the Decider map. 1-1. Whoever takes this does continue to go through as the Barbarian Barrel thrown down by CPL. It's going to bait out minions. And the snowball, it misses. And they're going to go through. And they actually might get some damage here onto the tower as actually the Ram Rider goes through. He's neutralized by the Electro Wizard and can't quite get a charge on, taken down by the tower as well. And can't get a hit off. That's well played from JJ.
Indeed, the Electro Wizard is an amazing way of just dealing with anything with charges. There's a Bandit, but it's going to get pretty nicely shut down. Not completely, though. Very, very wide variety of deck here we're seeing from JJ here, with the World Ghost and the Bandit, and a Mega Knight from Chocoholic. Even early on here, we're seeing a lot of heavy cards from both sides. It's going to be interesting to see. Well, we've seen Chocoholic's win condition, and there's JJ's. It's the P.E.K.K.A. The fight against the old and the new when it comes to the big hitters of Clash Royale. And the P.E.K.K.A. does win, especially on its side of the field. But the Inferno Dragon will clear it up quite easily, I think.
We'll have to see, because obviously he does have the Electro Wizard on his side, as it does go down as I say that, and that's going to completely take out of play the Inferno Dragon, the Battle Ram on the right side as well, going through, going to be hitting the tower, takes down 500 HP, the Barbarians are going to do even more, the Bandit on the left side, he's going to go through, protected by that P.E.K.K.A, along with the Electro Wizard, they're going to do so much damage to that tower, they may just bring it down here.
We have just seen an amazing play from JJ here, he's had a really good strong push on both sides. Well, technically only had one card on the right-hand side, but letting the Ram connect like that and the Barbarians do a lot of damage, it's not looking good for Chocoholic. Real big disadvantage as, well, he's one tower down and hasn't got a single bit of damage, well, a tiny bit of damage to show for it.
Yeah, I think this is really a GG here already, and CPL probably knows it. Obviously, the JJ has the perfect deck to counter CPL at the moment, and CPL, well, with that Elixir draining, I don't think he's fancying his chances. He's going to drop a poison, the final card, but not really going to do too much. The Battle Ram is going to continue to push through, might just about get taken out, and it does. The Mega Knight coming in, getting the drop, but he's got so much work to do. He's going to take out at least one tower within 30 seconds. The Ram Rider, sorry, is going to be keeping that P.E.K.K.A. in place as he goes to the tower. He does get a few hits off, but he's getting chipped away by that Royal Ghost and the tower as he is taking down double Inferno Dragon. You don't see that a lot. They are trying to do what they can, but well, they can't do too much. They're Inferno Dragons, and they just can't find the hits here. The minions obviously going down as well to stop it, and 10 seconds left. I think this is it.
Unless this Ram Rider is going to do something spectacular, which is not. Chocoholic does not win. JJ Legends is going to take this round. Is he going to be able to take the second tower? Not quite. But there we have it. JJ Legend proving that he is indeed the legend and taking the first round against Chocoholic. You know, hot contenders, number 2. And number 1 in the tournament so far. Like, that's impressive. Yeah, this is the return of the king.
Yeah, as we said, he won the first week, obviously. He came second both last week and the week before that. And JJ comes swinging in, takes him out in the first round. So, I don't say if it was certainly a surprise, but it's a bit of an upset, perhaps. And we'll have to see if he continues and see how he goes against Mushroom.
Oh, it's definitely an upset. It is one massive upset. As we see the replays of the last 3 rounds, what a great 3 set they were. The first game one is, again, clear for JJ. Definitely had the advantage with his Sparky, getting that one important connection earlier, and just the double giant deck not being able to see as much light. Interesting, I was just saying everyone was using it, but when either side used the double giant deck, neither of them won with it, so maybe it's not as powerful as making it out to be. As we see here, this is what happens when you get swarmed by someone who can take out 2 towers at once. And, well, almost making it with the Royal Hogs there.
Yeah, I mean, CPL was certainly all over JJ in that second map, but as we saw in the third one, JJ was all over CPL, so definitely a very, well, up and down for both players, and we'll have to see how if JJ stays in the tournament for the rest of it, how what he can pull out and see how they continue to play against each other, see if they can bring anything different, and if they do stay roughly even. And as we said before, it's all about decks and getting the perfect combo here. And I think it was just unlucky for both players that they lost their map, or the ones they did lose. They were so significant. There we go. As just from the matchups, really.
And in that final game, we saw JG dominate. That first tower going down so quickly with everything that was going on. It was just so fast. Such a great game from JG. And yeah, like I said, this could be the return of the king. It's really well played.
Yeah, that's certainly to say the least. It is a bit of a shock, and we'll have to see. We think he's a big player already. Obviously, we saw the other week, 2 weeks ago, Ivanovic coming in, and I think another new player. I can't remember his name at the moment. Obviously, they were extra players. They did have potential, but didn't quite take the win. The fact that JJ's come in and straight away beaten CPL, he's certainly a contender already for this season, as long as he stays in and performs quite high continuously.
Well, he will be up against the king of the Hog Rider, Super Pro, in the next round. But the next game we'll be giving you will be between Mushroom and the winner of Will CR and Samstar. It is Will. Will will be the winner. So that's, well, as we know, a legendary fight indeed.
Yeah, as always, we do. It's quite often that these two clash throughout Mool, and it's very good to see. They always have back and forth banter in the chat for one, and also take it could go either way, really.
Yeah, they have very close games. I've got my money on Mushroom. He's been showing great form at the moment, and he's going to be desperate for that 3 wins in a row. But he was saying he was going to play fast and loose this week, wasn't he? In the chat beforehand.
He did 2-0 Ivanovic, so obviously he wasn't that loose.
Yeah, he's definitely not going for the slightly banterous tactics that he was saying he was going to go for. Anyway, we will be right back with that amazing fight after this break.
Replaying your words there in my head. When you're not here, I'm stuck in bed. I'm starting to break.
Welcome back to the Newell and Clash Royale, and we are very happy to be sponsored by Logitech, Unite students, and Twitch students. Well, we've had some good fights already tonight with the Legend against Chocoholic, an equally good Legend, you could argue. And now, coming up, we have Mushroom against Will. As we were saying before the break, a clash of titans, right, Ant?
Well, certainly. Obviously, talking about legends, these two certainly are legends, and this fight by itself is legendary. And hopefully it'll live up to expectations. It's not just a complete whitewash and 2-0. We'll have to see. Even if it is 2-0, it might be close. And, well, certainly looking at it from the bans, as we were talking about this just before this, Mushroom has banned Poison and Will has banned Fireball, which are two very, perhaps not too odd bans, but Fireball's slightly a unique one, perhaps, as we were saying.
Well, Poison's pretty clear. Mushroom's going to run a graveyard deck. Poison is the pure counter to it, and he just doesn't want to work with it. So I imagine Will's going to keep that in mind and think about what's about to happen. But yeah, Will banning Fireball, as I was saying, Fireball is just a great spell. It deals with anything that happens to be hanging around the castle at the wrong time, and as an emergency reaction to a lot of spells, it's a lot of attacks. It's not bad. So banning it outright is interesting. Of course, this also means Will can't use the Fireball, which, you know, great stuff.
Yeah, so well, we'll have to see if it does come into play as we were talking about. Obviously, perhaps it's general playstyles, perhaps countering specific cards. We'll have to see as we are. Well, get into it right now. Perfect timing. Will dropping Spear Goblins initially straight away, and Skeleton Dragons do countered with Mushroom's play. The Giant, the Knight, sorry, is going to be dropped to completely absorb all that damage, and a Mortar goes out from Will. And that's certainly a deck we haven't seen too much use of, but it's certainly going to do its job. The Knight starts hitting away. The Mortar not being countered by anything at the moment. Mushroom has dropped a Lava Hound, and that's certainly something that we've seen Will try to avoid within these last few games.
Indeed we have, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a balloon coming in soon after it, as the pigs on the bridge, Roll Hogs even, get taken out by the Skarmy, which in turn gets taken out by the Log. The usual back and forth from Clash Royale, with the clone spell coming in for those Lava Pups and Bats. And this is going to be a fair bit of damage, getting all nicely mopped up by the Knight as he goes on a little counter-attack.
Yeah, he got slightly worried there, and very unexpected with the Bats, and then the clone spell. But as we said, got completely taken and nullified by that Knight. As, well played from Will, got so much damage with the tower, down to 1000 HP already, and Mushroom, he's not done much at all, and can't really counter it. We'll see if he can bring anything different out. Obviously, we haven't seen two cards still, so if there's a balloon or, well, a baby dragon perhaps behind it as he drops down an Elixir Collector, that's not seen a lot, and Will, he brings out his last spell, the Earthquake spell, which is perfect to counter it.
Well, that doesn't even explain the Fireball ban, because that was by Will, not Mushroom. But yes, the Earthquake spell is just a pure counter, but the Mirror coming in from Mushroom, yeah, not a spell we normally see at this level, has definitely shown its worth here, allowing him to at least put down an Elixir Collector at a slightly higher cost, as the right-hand tower is nail-bitingly low, and this is a good chance for Will to get this first game in, with the Mortars chipping away. Unless Mushroom's going to go for one big free tower, he's not going to... I can't see him winning this, and as we enter, double Elixir.
Yeah, I really can't see him bringing this back. Look at the damage. Will, he's taken one tower down to 255, the other one down to 772, as the Royal Hogs, they almost, and they actually do, along with the Log, take out the right tower. And Mushroom, what can he counter it with? He puts down two pairs of Skeleton Dragons. They're going to do a lot of damage, but it's just getting soaked up by the Knight. And second Lava Hound dropped by Mushroom, who's going to continue with this push, but he's it too late. 25 seconds left. Clone spell going out, and time is running out for him.
Now we're seeing Mushroom's huge Elixir advantage he's built up coming into this, and it is going to work. He might be able to take... He's going to take the right-hand tower, and he might actually push on for a free count. The Hunter's going to try and say other things about it, but this is going to be interesting. If Will can hold out here, he's got this in the bag as yet another Lava Hound goes down. Mushroom is on the full offensive. You've not seen this kind of play in a while, and he is just not giving up. We underestimated him. He was biding his time. But the Hogs are going in. Let's see if he can clear it up. No, there goes the Skeletons as a pure counter. And alongside the Earthquake, it's going to be enough.
That was closer than it should have been.
That was really chaotic. That was a chaotic play style from Mushroom. You know what we were saying? You know what we were saying about,
Banterous decks.
banterous decks? I would argue that's a banterous deck. Going, okay, let's
God.
just focus on overtime. Let's just focus on when I've got double elixir. Let's put down 20 lava hounds and see what happens.
That's unbelievable. We've not seen that before. And the fact that he does something like that, so outrageous. And then it almost works. He almost got a triple crown. I think Will's King Tower was on, 1600 HP? He was so low and he almost took it. And if you take so much damage from perhaps like the mortar early on the left tower, he could have won that. Definitely could have.
I think that deck would have worked a lot better if they hadn't been running the mortar, because the mortar requires an answer, otherwise it will do loads of damage. Where a lot of other stuff you can get away with kind of half countering, and I think that's what he was doing there. He was trying to not spend much in the opening half, make sure he comes into overtime with a huge advantage. Yeah, he's claiming it was a troll deck, and I think that's a fair thing for him to claim.
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, it seems like it, but the fact that he almost won with it is unbelievable. And we'll have to see if he has anything different up his sleeve this time. The log goes out, there's a bit of damage, nothing significant. There's a miner comes out from Will. To see if he has anything to back it up with. Just goes out, and it does bait out a magic archer from Mushroom. He is waiting, and a Mega Minion's going to go down. A rocket. A very odd pairing, a lot of damage, and actually, well, a slight advantage so far.
Yeah, but it's a big elixir expensive putting down a rocket. I wonder if that's his decision of what's the card I'm going to have a joke with this time. It's going to be pure rocket cycle from Mushroom. That's where my money is. Will's gone. All right, if you could have a lava hound, then so can I. Let's see how this goes down.
And he even has the flying machine to back it up. He's going to take down that miner, and he's not going to get many hits off. And backing up that lava hound could be basically detrimental, but the Inferno Tower pick coming out from Mushroom, that should basically take down this lava hound. Obviously, Lava Pup's going to do a lot, and the miner's going to come in. He's going to be taking down that Inferno Tower. The tornado counter from Mushroom is going to gather them all up, do so much damage with that magic archer. And there has been damage to the tower from Will, but perhaps not as much as he'd liked.
Tornado with a magic archer, really great, brings it all together, allows you to let the arrows fly through them all, but gets dealt with the Mega Minion, which is going to make its way to the tower and not do anything on that HP. Let's see, Will is, losing it out slightly to Mushroom here, who of course always has that rocket up its sleeve once it goes low enough, but now we've seen the whole of Mushroom's deck. Yeah, this is effectively rocket and miner are his true winning conditions, and a very defensive deck apart from that. It's a good thing he packed that Inferno Tower, otherwise he'd be in a whole load of pain with this Lava Hound.
I mean, it really is, but as you say that, Will, he still has 3 cards that we haven't seen. If one of them's a Lightning, then, well, definitely could turn on Will's favour, as we do get into double elixir now, and that is exactly where the Lava Hound shines. We saw that last game, we may see it again. The arrow's coming in, the Tornado pick coming out, bringing the miner towards the King Tower. The Flying Machine and the Lava Pops, they're going to do so much damage to that tower already. They are getting chipped away, and actually, again, Will, only just a little bit of damage, can't quite take it down. But he does take the lead, in fact, as another Lava Hound does go down. Mega Minion this time backing it up. And Inferno Tower up very close from Mushroom. We still haven't seen 2 cards from Will. What are they? I'm genuinely puzzled.
Yeah, so am I. It's surprised we haven't seen them out yet. And remember, that's 2 of his 4 cards he can play that he's just not touching. So I'm very interested to see what it is. As the right-hand tower goes down for Will, not quite. The Flying Machine just getting distracted by the Ice Golem there. And yeah, Mushroom's got to do something crazy to win this one, I think. I mean, Will can just arrows it out from here. Whatever spam Mushroom was planning for this one hasn't paid off. I guess the rocket is just too expensive to risk as it goes down just as we enter overtime.
Yeah, it really is. It obviously got nerfed the last update or the update before that, so it's really not too much of a viable thing to cycle rocket anymore. I don't personally believe. And well, we saw it there. He used it once, and that was it. He couldn't really get much more damage off, and Will, with that Lava Hound, does come out on top, 2-0 fashion. And Mushroom, the fact he could have taken that first one is very shocking. I would have liked to have seen a third because that was very amusing, but obviously, as we saw, Will does come out on top in the end.
Indeed, I would have loved to have seen more of Mushroom's plays. I think they were really good. If you want to see what's talking about my decks, I didn't have any troops, is how he describes his decks, which I think is very fair, especially that last one. Like he was just relying on the rocket, and it doesn't work all the time. As we see, what was a beautiful offensive effort from Will in that first game. He had us on, no, Mushroom even, he had us on the ropes, expecting that he might take the 3 crown. However, Royal Hogs say no.
Yeah, they really were a detriment to Mushroom there. Obviously, having that big push deck and it just didn't work out. Obviously, Will had the perfect counter. Mushroom had the Elixir Collector, countered by the Earthquake, and it's just so much better value. Half the cost in Elixir, but basically takes it down. You can't really work with that, and if he didn't have that, who knows? He could have won that, but very close, too close for comfort perhaps for Will, but in the end he does come out on top, and that second one was very dominant.
Oh yeah, definitely. Will showed control from pretty much the beginning of the second one. He was definitely in charge because Mushroom didn't pack anything to do any damage to the tower, apart from Rocket, which on its own is not viable enough. I'm sorry, Mushroom. Try harder.
He said in the chat that he now understands what was wrong with his deck. Is that it doesn't have any troops in it, which is technically true. I mean, he didn't really have too much of a counter. Minor, obviously, it was good, not good enough to do damage. And well, I believe well, we see what happens with that. Obviously, he goes down to the lower bracket, and Will is going to go through to face the JJ and or the winner of JJ and Sopro Bro in the upper bracket final,
which I will be very interested to see the results of. But yes, Will beating Mushroom here in the tournament has been a bit of an upset. Will's not been doing as well as we've all kind of expected this year, at least from my personal opinion. So I'm looking forward to see what he does with this extra boost now that Mushroom's slightly been pushed aside.
I mean, we say that, but also last season I think he was quite sort of, he wasn't above the rest by a massive level, but he still came back in the finals and just swept and won it, sort of thing. So again, we can't count it out. And if he does, we were messaging a little bit previously, and he said that obviously he's plays this for fun. And at the end of the day, it's a game. You do want to have fun. You don't want to get too stressed about it. You want to anti-strat too hard. And if he does, anti-strat, put in the effort, put in the work, there's no reason why he can't come back and take it. Obviously, JJ thrown in the mix, that can definitely throw a wrench in the works. And we'll have to see. I don't think anyone's counted out the game at all and out the tournament at all yet by any means.
Oh, far from it. But I think this is definitely Mushroom saying, I'm not going for 3 wins in a row. I'm just going to have some fun and plague the tournament with my amazing ability to play even some weird decks. Anyway, like we said, thank you very much to Logitech, Unite students, and Twitch students for sponsoring Clash Royale here on the Newell. Without them, we couldn't bring this amazing gameplay to you. We'll be right back after this short break.
when you need it most. Feel the freedom of being careless, just being in love. Everything will be alright. Through the darkness, through the night, no fear anymore. No fear anymore. No fear anymore. Why the smile on your face? Don't fake it. You don't have to pretend.
Hello again and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spring 2021 Week 4 Clash Royale tournament at Newell, which is sponsored by Logitech G, Unite students, and Twitch students. And I'm once again joined by my co-caster Watson, and we're looking to get into the third game, the upper bracket final between Will and SoProBro, who just beat JJ.
Indeed, and SoProBro, close game against JJ. Very interesting to see. We were very up in the air on who would win that. It's good to see SoProBro come back. He's had a couple of weeks off from the tournament. Not seen a lot of him. So hopefully he'll do well. Bans have come in. Inferno Dragon for SoProBro, so we can expect something beefy from him. I guess maybe an Inferno Tower would be a suitable replacement. And Will going for his old reliable and banning Fireball because it just works.
Well, as we saw versus Mushroom, it did work. And, well, the fact that he's banned Fireball, it makes me think, is he going to use the exact same deck again? Obviously, if SoProBro has had a chance, actually wouldn't have had a chance. I don't think he would have known, would he? Because obviously this is it's gone live. He wouldn't have known and been able to watch the match. So he, logically, wouldn't have known how Will beat Mushroom. So he's going to be unexpectedly might get shocked by Mortar and Royal Hogs combo.
Yeah, we can expect to see those Royal Hogs rolling out again. And I don't know from SoProBro. We yet to see him on stream. Interesting lack of ban, as always, of the Hog Rider, but maybe Will's just feeling to let SoProBro have that one. We joke about SoProBro's Hog Rider behavior from previous seasons, but we don't see a huge amount of it from this season, so we'll see as we are getting ready for tonight for this next round. I'm excited. I'm excited to see who comes out on top. This could be very good. Will's doing better than normal, and that's going to be interesting to see.
He said better than normal, but he has pretty consistently been doing good. He came third in the last 3 weeks.
True, but he often
Can he change it around?
He ends up in losers slightly earlier than this. At least that's how it always feels to me, or watching it, or commentating over it. But maybe I'm just talking absolute rubbish, and he's actually going to just blow us away. We have a decent position. I say, but it's not. His third is good. I guess it's because we don't see him in the final, is the thing. Like, you know what the final's like. It's more grand and interesting, and, you know, first and second, and the fight between those two. But, I mean, at this rate, we'll be lucky to see either of those two in the final.
Yeah, it's really stacked, and even looking at the lower bracket, it's as you say, stacked. And whoever does win this, as we say, goes to the upper bracket final with a map advantage. Whoever loses does go down, and it is not quite out just yet. As we do get into the first map, SoProBro saying good luck, and well, Will immediately throwing out Goblin Barrel. Barbarian Barrel isn't quite perfect, and he's just going to hit onto the tower, but, well, nothing too significant as Will drops the Bandit, can't quite get the dash damage onto the Miner. So he actually may take it out here. Skeletons come in and actually does clear them up. And the Bandit just about stays alive. But shouldn't really be able to do too much damage.
Well, having a look at things, Will is definitely going for that fast-paced deck as the Wall Breakers get shut down by the Tornado, activating the King Tower. Extremely well played, as Will says. That's going to neutralize Will's Goblin Barrel as well. So every time we see the Goblin Barrel or any of those decks that, you know, Tornado gets a benefit from, we're seeing Tornado alongside it, which is always impressive. Tornado's a spell that, I don't know, to me always feels a big risk reward. Your opponent has to be using one of these certain cards to really make it useful. As we see this giant skeleton get slowly but surely taken out as it tries to cross the bridge for SoProBro, who's yet to get a big hit in, but neither side really has done much damage, apart from, I guess, to the King Tower by those Wall Breakers.
Yeah, and Will, he's going to try again, but this time on the right side as they do go in, but the Tornado is going to take them down, neutralize them, they can't even get there. So Cannon Cart, he's going to try and be defensive. He takes down the Miner, but the Baby Dragon is still getting hits off onto the tower. That's going to do quite a lot. Perhaps make him back to haunt SoProBro. Oh, actually will. As SoProBro does have the perfect counter to that Cannon Cart. Ice Wizard and the Barbarian from the barrel earlier. He's going to take it down, and he's looking pretty good. I'd imagine he's quite comfortable.
Oh, definitely. So Bro here looking on a pretty strong lead with that nice bit of damage taken off Will's left-hand tower. Will's going to have to struggle to try and find another opening. I imagine he's going to have to try and run in another set of wall breakers, but he's going to need to have that behind something. As we see another giant skeleton dropped in on the right.
Oh.
And Bomb Tower is going to suck up one of them, but one of them does connect to the Princess Tower and gets that very sizable amount of damage off.
Yeah, that's something Super may be kicking himself about. But Goblin Barrel comes in, does do a bit of damage, but he's going to leave it actually. The Bomb Tower does take them out, and he, well, instead puts down a Baby Dragon on the right side. Can't quite, only getting one hit off. And well, he's doing a double-pronged defense. The band on the right side gets taken down, but so do the wall breakers. Goblin Barrel coming out once again, but the giant skeleton, along with the towers, are going to be able to take them out as they do get a few hits off once again. And he's chipping away here. So Bro, what can you do? What is he going to bring out? What can he change up? Giant skeleton should again get taken down by that cannon cart as the bandit on the right side gets the dash damage down and does so much damage to the tower. Balloon coming in, should be able to get a few hits on off. We'll have to see, as the hunter, too far away from the fight, isn't going to be able to take him down, and the balloon does get one hit off, and it's looking to actually turn around to look good for So Bro.
We're seeing So Bro bring out the two-bomb combo that is the giant skeleton and the balloon as we enter sudden death. Definitely, well, actually, So Bro definitely with the advantage, considering only one tower matters. Though if Will can get a decent push off, he does have a chance as he's playing this very fast log bait. I mean, I guess not log bait, barbarian barrel bait in this situation. But this giant skeleton is doing a lot of work, and the balloon is pretty much going to have a clear run. However, it's not, because it's going to get pulled back by that cannon cart. I don't think it's going to matter, though. I think it's going to make it.
Oops.
No! Yes!
Well, it's done. The balloon getting that hit off, and obviously can drop the bomb, which will take down the tower, and will, you know what, actually surprisingly almost brought it back there. So Bro in the early game did seem quite dominant with it, but well, again, we see the split tower attack, it just doesn't quite work out. CPL, sorry, he felt the sting of it earlier. Obviously, he couldn't take down one tower, and we see the same thing again. He can't take down one tower, just to split defense. And obviously, if he does get one down, it's looking good for later, but he just can't take one down, and it does sting.
Indeed, the split tower strategy is great if you could take one of the towers. You have to be able to do that. And Will playing what wasn't really a split tower strategy. I mean, it became that as the match went on because he couldn't break through one side. But what was a log bait deck? Well, the problem with log bait, especially Goblin Barrel, is once that King Tower is activated, it gets pretty harshly shut down as we move in to the second game. So Bro with that lead advantage. Let's see what he's brought out this time. Still yet to see his legendary hog.
Yeah, we've not really seen that much at all this season. As Will is once again going to bring out a miner. Knight's going down is going to take it out with ease. And no worry at the moment. Mega Minion coming down. Should be able to take that out without a problem as a hunter. It's placed right at the back by So Bro. What deck has he got out? What is he going to choose? Is he going to go for chip damage? And is he going to be able to counter this Lava Hound? Will did win with it versus Mushroom. And, well, he's testing his luck once again. Barbarians, you don't see that a lot. And it's actually a slight variation on his last deck. As they're going to be going up the left side. And the Lava Hound, not supported by anything just as of yet. On the right, Zappies, they should be able to take down the Lava Hound and at least stun him and take their time as he does get taken down. Lava Bups, not able to do too much. The Skeleton Dragons may be able to get a few hits with the tower here. But actually the Hunter goes down instead. And he's going to absorb all that damage and take them down in return. So, well played from both players, actually.
Yeah, indeed. As Will is pointing out, they both played amazingly well there to take effectively no damage. Will's just going to take a tiny bit there from the Hunter, but nothing major. Though it feels major in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, Will seemingly playing a quite expensive deck, especially with that Lava Hound and Barbarians. I imagine we're seeing the Lava Hounds with the Bone Skeleton. No, the Bone Dragons, or Skeleton Dragons, that's the word I'm looking for, following up behind. Where So Bro is definitely, we're yet to see the win condition. And there it is, with Graveyard, not been banned this time. Let's let the Skeletons build up. And he's brought his own poison to the party to help defend them.
Yeah, but look at the counter from Will. He's got those 4 Barbarians now. Well, still 4. 1 low HP, but the Miner joining in.
And
they're completely taking down that tower. So much damage. And, well, Will may just have won it with that.
Indeed, he might have done. Barbarians are the kind of card which, if you leave ignored, will just roll the roost. I mean, there's so many of them. You've got to come up with something, and that's really where the difficulty comes from. Once they're at your tower, you're going to struggle. As So Bro's pushing in with his couple of zappies, I imagine he's just going to try and wait his time for another Graveyard, to be honest, as it comes down. Will's got his own win condition, the Lava Hound making its way across, especially with the cannon, the flying machine acting as a support to it. It's going to make quite a lot of work. The Hunter cleaning it up. and that graveyard not doing a huge amount. It's looking pretty secure for Will here as we enter the last 20 seconds of the game.
Yeah, so even if he did somehow get that tower, Will's got such an advantage in the King Tower, and he should be able to take it down with a push. But, well, it doesn't look like it'll come to that. So Provo putting down that Knight in the last ditch effort. The graveyard as well to back it up, but he's not going to be able to achieve anything. Mega Minion and the Flying Machine, they're going to be taking down the Skeletons with ease. Don't even get to the tower, just get a hit off. And he will take that second game, and we will take it to a third game in this best of 3. And it's certainly getting tight here with both of those games. Being not quite dominant, but you know what? This third one could go either way.
Indeed it could. We saw a very slow game there from both of them. We saw Sobro not really have the win condition, of course, there being Graveyard, and he just didn't really have anything to tank for it enough. And also, Will just had enough things to clean up everything. And Will's win condition, the Lava Hound, making its way very clearly through a couple times. But really, the Barbarians were the unsung hero of that fight for Will, as they just kind of walked in and did their job and just cleaned up the tower very nicely on that right-hand side, giving him the 1-0 lead, which is all that matters. Just got to win. Doesn't matter how many crowns, just got to get those wins. I mean, he could have really gone for the 3 crown if he decided to. That King Tower was almost on half health.
It's always a gamble, though, if you do. So it's smart from him to play defensively. And I think, well, 2 things to say about that. I think it's a bit of a misplay from Silverbro with the poison there. He tried to do it, but it's not going to take down the Flying Machine. The Mega Minion wasn't in touch, and it basically was completely pointless. 4 elixir wasted, and that did allow for that attack on the tower by the Barbarians. But also, as we said earlier, it's a Fireball ban from Will. And, well, if Silverbro had a Fireball, that would have completely taken out the Barbarians. But instead, smart thinking from Will. He does ban that, and, well, they can just complete havoc. There we go.
I think Will's realised how many cards are just countered by Fireball, can just be wiped off the face of the game. So he's just gone, well, if we just remove that, how many decks can I now, and how many cards can I use I don't have to worry about anymore? And we're seeing all of them tonight. Yes, those Barbarians, you click on them with the Fireball, they go away. But you don't have that, what are you going to do? And the answer is, well, the answer is definitely not just ignore them and let them get to the tower. That's what we learned.
Yeah, well, I think SoPro has definitely learned his lesson here. As apparently, he did apparently click onto Ladder accidentally, but we should be getting back to it. I think it's multiple times, so well, maybe he's trying to regather his thoughts. Who knows? Maybe it's strategic as we do get into it now, and we'll have to see what they bring out. If this is going to be a different deck, we'll bring out the Wall Breakers. Is it the same as the first time, or is it something slightly different? Goblin Cage is going to go down, takes it out, neutralizes it, and he's actually going to put down a high damage Goblin on the field. As the miner from Will at the back of the map isn't going to get to the tower to do any damage, but he's going to take down that Goblin. Bad on the left side, and well, he can't get the dash off. Dark Knight to counter it, and just completely annihilates him. It's, well, certainly an odd deck. As the Musketeers brought out, it's obviously a slight variation from Will's first one. We'll have to see how he does fare.
I want to point out, Will just amazingly shut down that 2-push of Baby Dragon and a Dark Knight. Like, I saw that Barbarian barrel roll, and my head was like, what is he doing? But he kited both of them together, and the musket was able to clear up, and still had a musket to attack with as... Oh! The King Tower is activated once again. Those Wall Breakers seem to be doing more harm than good tonight. We've yet to see... I mean, we've seen them do quite a bit of work, but I don't think it ever happens without the King Tower activating. Everyone's bringing Tornado. What is this?
It's smart, that's what it is. Obviously, as you said, it's very situational, high risk, high reward, and so Probro, maybe he's Red Will, maybe, well, maybe he's just gone for a lucky chance, and it is going to work out, if as you said, activating that King Tower, and it is going to certainly put it in so Probro's favour, as Will does put down Wall Breakers. They are going to get taken down by the Barbarian Barrel, not going to be able to get to the tower, as so Probro, he's going to bring out his 9th card, which is the Electro Giant, and we've seen it a bit before in the last few weeks. We'll have to see if he's successful with it this week.
Well, that'll explain the Tornado. The Tornado can bring the Electro Giant, bring a unit within range of the Electro Giant. The Electro Giant able to counterattack anything within that red circle and stun it. But it looks like the Mega Knight, which Will now has as his 9th card. 9th card, seemingly the win conditions here, is going to clean up very nicely. Tornado's going to deal with a bit of that stuff, and Bandit's going to get shut down. He's going to have to deal with this double long push, as the Wall Breakers and the Mega Knight both have a shot at connecting.
And that the Mega Knight does get the extra bonus damage from that leap onto the left tower, and it is going to put it back in Will's favour. As obviously Sopo he just had to defend against the right side from that with the Goblin Cage and the Wall Breakers versus the Miner. But well, he's going to put down the Bandit on the left side along with the Musketeer. Going to try and continue chipping away at that left tower. Will putting down the Wall Breakers on the right is going to get neutralised once again. It's a good offence from So Probro, but the Lightning coming out He's going to take down the Musketeer, do damage to the tower, but the Mega Knight is still in play. Bat's behind him. He's going to take down that Baby Dragon. Or almost, actually. Took a bit too soon. Well handled in the defense from So Pro Bro, but Will is going to continue to go, and the wall breakers are almost going to get there. One is, the Mine's going to continuously chip away at the tower. And actually looking good for Will, just about a slight advantage.
Oh yeah, indeed. Will definitely, again, we're talking about split pushes, and it definitely looks like he's playing one of them at the moment, but again, more on accident. I'm surprised how well Will is doing. I feel like he's not found a way to bait out the Barbarian Barrel. As I say that, he gets an opportunity, but the wall breakers are going to connect to the cage. It's the Miner doing the work for Will that's being allowed to be left unattended and get a lot of damage in. Let's see if this Electro Giant can do any better than the last one, which pretty quickly got eaten up, as this push on the left looks tasty.
Oh no.
Oh, they've both connected. I think that might be curtains, unless this right one. No, the Mega Knight's going to clean that up. Oh, two wall breakers. Well. That's dangerous. You don't want to get hit by 2 wall breakers.
Yeah, and as we see, well, the Lightning is going to do damage, take down the Musketeer, but, well, the Mega Knight is already there. Same with the Bandit. He's going to get the dash off. Barbarian Barrel chiming in as well. He does loads of damage to the tower, but it's not enough. The Miner and the wall breakers are going to come in, but the Goblin Cage is perfect. He should be able to take them down as they both get exploded. There's still 500 HP on that tower, and well, if Sobo has the perfect, if he has the perfect counter offense, this may just work out for him as we do get into triple elixir now, and the Electro Giant is going to get placed exactly on the bridge. Counter attack coming in, the wall breakers looking to do more damage.
So Bro's now got a great chance here to try and clean this up. I think he's going to actually take it back at the last minute. Yes, he is. The Electro Giant is underrated. But if it can get to the tower, because it hits it and zaps it, which stuns the tower, and anything hitting it, stunning it, nothing can do damage to it at that point, and it can just clean house. Electro Giant, probably an underrated card, if it can get there. It has to get there, that's the hard bet.
Yeah, we saw him earlier on in that game, and he just wasn't quite able to connect, wasn't really able to do too much, got taken down by the Mega Knight and by the Musketeer. And the Lightning didn't really, obviously it was a support card, but couldn't quite do its job, couldn't quite take down the damaging and defending troops. But obviously in the end, so Pro, he kept on pushing. He tanks that damage, which is very, very close, and it could have gone in Will's favour, but he tanked the damage, came back in with a counter offense, and he won. And, well, that's what counts.
Indeed it does. As we go back through the first few games here, and as you can see, the balloon and the skeleton, the giant skeleton, the story as old as time. The bombs going everywhere and allowing you to clean up. It's just very well played from Soperbro, allowing him to clean up that first win.
Yeah, and that was, well, I don't want to say too close, but obviously the two-pronged attack didn't work out for Will. The second map, obviously SBC did work out for him quite dominantly with the Barbarians coming on the right side. I think that's a bit of a misplay from Soperbro, rather than any sort of a weakness in play, and perhaps in getting out-cycled. There's a myriad of different factors that it could have been. But obviously, as we said, Will came out on top quite dominantly. And, well, that third map, as we saw, it was so close.
Indeed it was. I mean, the entire game was so close, apart from arguably the first one because of Soperbro's misplay. But they were both well played. We thought Will had a good shot at this. We really did for a long point in this match. But this Electro Giant, an underrated card, like I say, you just can't let it connect. And without a building to stop it, it probably will. And that was the problem here. As you can see, makes its way into the range and just shuts down the tower pretty much immediately. So scary. So scary. Do not let those things ever near your tower.
And we said about it the other week. Obviously, the traditional and standard counters for Giants, like the Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon, Skeleton Army, and Bats and whatnot, they get completely null and void versus the Electro Giant. The stun just taking them all out, stunning the tower so they can't build up damage. And, well, we see the consequences of it. And if you look in Will's deck there, as I was just looking then, he didn't really have a strong counter. He had the Bats that do so much damage, but they get taken down by the Zap. You have the Musketeer who tries to do a lot, but by that time, if you put him on the bridge, as we saw, he gets to the tower, he's doing the damage, and the Musketeer can't do too much in return. Obviously, the Mega Giant does get a lot of damage himself, but not enough. He's not like the P.E.K.K.A. He can't just get in hits and just take him down low HP. He's more of a group counter-offensive sort of thing, and we've seen him obviously used very efficiently, but not against the Electro Giant.
Indeed, the Mega Knight, it was just an unlucky on the decks there. The Electro Giant can just work. It takes a bit of time to get rolling, as we saw in that fight, but he can play off very quickly. Anyway, we're going to go straight in to our next game, which will be the legend that is JJ Legend versus Mushroom, let's see what deck he decides to bring this time. JJ has been great. Go, Fred.
No, you can talk about the bands.
Oh, okay. JJ has banned Graveyard, so no Graveyard decks for Mushroom. The same one that we saw him ban last time. He obviously just doesn't like fighting Graveyard, which is understandable, neither do I. And Mushroom has banned the Recruits. I mean, I guess they could be annoying. It does shut down a lot of split pushes, but it's not a card we've commonly seen. And I can't think of anything that they purely counter. I guess like maybe an Inferno Tower is a good push, but... Yeah.
That's a double giant deck push. They may make them play. We'll have to see.
True. We have seen them. Let's see if Mushroom decides to bring some fire to this one after our last game watching him. And let's see how JJ has done after beating Chocoholic, but then making his way into the losers after losing to Soperbro. So that's going to be interesting to see that these two titans here at the Newell clash it out. Very interested.
We did say about, obviously, Mushroom having perhaps meme decks or troll decks. CPL in the chat did say, why no more meme decks? And he said, because he's run out. So perhaps he's playing seriously now. Perhaps he's going to go through a run through the lower brackets. But obviously, we say that his first challenge is JJ Legend. We do get underway with the first map. And Mushroom, a bit of damage to the tower. Baby Dragon not able to take down that bandit. But the goblins, they should be able to neutralize the dash damage. Not able to connect with the tower. Zap, not able to do its job. As much JJ is going to put down a Royal Ghost on the right side. And he should actually get the tower just about, but the tornado is perfect. Mushroom, he's been watching and he's learnt. That tornado is going to activate that King Tower. And put it in favour of Mushroom.
Everyone's carrying the tornado today now. I've just said, oh, you don't see it much. Now everyone's decided to bring it. I think they're just doing it to smite me, personally. Just, you know. But I guess it works well with a lot of splash units like we can see here from Mushroom. And JJ, yeah, that's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage to the King Tower, to be honest. But if we don't get to fighting the King Tower, it's not going to mean much. And if anything, it's going to be a detriment with that cannon activated. As this bandit's going to get nicely cleaned up by these goblins. With a Baby Dragon on the push and a Valk behind. Okay, with a Valk. Well, Ram's going to get slowed down. But the Royal Ghost has pushed through. Oh, the tornado again.
Yeah, Caster's Curse, obviously. He's pushed through. No, he hasn't. The tornado's come into play. As the Ice Wizard does go down, trying to counter that Electro Wizard, and he will do pretty much perfectly. You just get 2 hits off onto the Ice Wizard, but it's a positive Elixir trade. And Mushroom, he does stay slightly ahead in terms of Elixir, and actually in terms of damage as well. As the mine's going to go down, it's going to do some more damage to the tower. Bandits is frozen, but not frozen, but slowed down with the ice. He's going to, well, just about get off. But the goblins, once again, they completely nullify this dash damage, and she just can't connect to the tower. Valkyrie going down once again. It's an odd push. We haven't seen it too much. But, well, a P.E.K.K.A, that's going to come out from JJ and see what he can do. Takes down the Valkyrie relatively easy enough. The Electro Wizard is trying to support him. Tornado bringing the troops into close up against the tower. The Baby Dragon, he may just get a few hits off it.
It definitely will, and the P.E.K.K.A is going to be on about half health coming through with the Ram behind. I was about to ask, is Mushroom just going to keep using the Tornado to do with that Royal Ghost on the right as the rocket goes in? Oh, the signature card for Mushroom for today, it would seem. And nicely cleans up that very scary looking push. However, the P.E.K.K.A on the right is allowed to make a lot of progress towards the tower. Let's see how close it will be to make. The Tornado says otherwise. As the battle comes to the end of normal time, it's definitely to say Mushroom has a clear lead on that right-hand tower, as all that King Tower damage now definitely doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It's just going to be, well, not going to be seen today. As the battle on the left side is going to try to go through, and he may connect, but the Valkyrie, with an ever so quick attack time, is going to take it down, take down the Barbarians too, and should take down this Royal Ghost, assisted in support by this Ice Wizard. But I don't think it's going to get much further than that. P.E.K.K.A on the left side, put down by JJ, but a rocket coming through by Mushroom, trying to, well, combine the damage against P.E.K.K.A and the tower. Does do a lot, but not enough. As the right side attack from JJ is going to come through, the Bandit and the Battle Ram. But the Battle Ram is not going to connect. The Zap's perfect, but the left side attack, that's still there. And the P.E.K.K.A is going to push through Royal Ghost, minions, and everything as well. As the Valkyrie's placed down, taken down immediately. And this actually could be detrimental to Mushroom, as JJ is just pushing through, doing so much damage.
He successfully be able to avoid that P.E.K.K.A connecting, which I think would have been curtains, but that was an extremely good push on the left, and the right has a Battle Ram on it. So, yeah, JJ here has just shown that he can take control of this game, and now has definitely a foot in the door. However, only one tower matters at this point as we enter triple Elixir. Get ready to see a lot of P.E.K.K.A s, possibly a lot of rockets from Mushroom, and whatever JJ is still sitting on, that's it! Not quite. Not quite. I forgot he could rocket through, but the P.E.K.K.A. has been allowed to walk up to the tower, and with the ram behind it, is it going to start connecting and doing some damage? Oh, the Tornado says no, and I think...
Bandit.
Get away, no! Is he going to do it? He's done it!
That's unbelievable.
That was a close game. JJ
Yeah.
just sneaking it in with one of the Electro Wizard's 2 attacks. Always 2 attack monsters are scary. And just getting that last lightning bolt onto the tower. Wow, that was a game. That could have gone either way. Oh,
I think the rocket getting nerfed really has perhaps ruined Mushroom here. If it wasn't nerfed, he could have won that, because I think it's an extra 50 damage perhaps, and that would have taken down that tower with the 2 combined. He would have won that game, but unfortunately, there's a high cost of the rocket. 6 elixir doesn't take it down, and well, the counter offense is too good. We talk about the 2-prong defense from JJ. The battle ram on the right side, only 4 elixir, and does so much damage. So that just baits out a defense from Mushroom. He has to do something to counter it, but there's only so many cards he can counter it with. You've got the goblins, and he has the miner and stuff, but when you've got the P.E.K.K.A., you've got the bandit, you've got the battle ram, it's just too much for Mushroom, and JJ does pick up the first map.
Indeed he does, as we roll straight on to the second. Let's see if we can have an as exciting game as we had there. Oh, that was such a good round. I'm slightly speechless from how good it was. Anyway, JJ and Mushroom starting with a few arrows and a zap counter. A bit of a friendly slap for a duel more than anything else there. And they're both acknowledging that.
Yeah, they really are. They're going to sit here and just wait as eventually a card is placed down. Minions at the back, and they do split. 1 on the left side, 2 on the right. They're not really going to be able to accomplish too much as they are in a split position, and Mushroom's just going to sit here with full elixir. He knows they're going to get taken out, only getting perhaps maybe 1 hit off, he does, but that's it, and they're just going to sit with full elixir.
This is always a slightly slow game here, so JJ has got things started on the left-hand side. That's what Mushroom was waiting for, deciding which lane is he going to push so I can put my Lava Hound in the other lane. But JJ is going full in, forcing him to not be able to put anything behind it with the Giant Goblin. Loving his giants, and we're going to see a very dangerous push. Is he going to... Bats. I don't think bats are going to be enough to deal with all of that coming in.
That's so much damage already. He just takes down
one
the tower.
Now the question is, can he deal with the right-hand side, or is he just going to go full in? Because we're yet to see much defend it. Some minions will clean up the back end, not with the arrows. Can he defend the right-hand tower? Will he need to? As the King Tower for JJ, Mushrooms is almost dead. Is he going to be able to get a quick 3 crown? He does!
That's
a quick 3 crown.
Mushroom, no. Meme decks confirmed do not work, he says.
Well, indeed they don't. There was no defense there. He didn't even try, and as a result, it only takes a bit of a push to make its way through. That was great fun to watch. We had one really exciting, really close combat game, and then just 3 crown roll. Just 3 crown roll. Who wins? Who is faster? The answer is Lava Hounds are not that fast. They're not going to win in that situation.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's not really much you can say about that. There's more time sitting there with full elixir than there was in the actual attack. And
indeed.
You know what? You don't defend against them, which you can't when you put down high elixir players, high elixir troops such as the Lava Hound and the Skeleton Dragons, and you just can't quite counter. And here we see obviously in a replay the first one, very very close, getting so down to the wire essentially. 40 seconds left in the in overtime, getting to triple elixir. And JJ, he just about pushes through. Mushroom so close to taking that first tower, but he can't quite do it in time. And, well, JJ, he does come out on top. And obviously, as we just saw in that second one, it was just a whitewash. He just ran straight through him as if he was nothing there. The Dark Knight doing so much damage. The Musketeer, perfect as well. The Zap to support it. The Bat's not able to do anything. And, well, the Lava Hound and Skeleton Dragons, they just can't do enough damage by themselves in time. They're not fast enough. And, well, they don't make it work. The Dark Knight perfectly takes out those... Skeleton Army, and he just continues to smack away at the King Tower, and it's GG essentially, as we saw.
Indeed, it was so fast paced. They both were just like, well, what if we just don't play Clash Royale and just raise each other? It was like watching a tournament match of Infinite Elixir where you both just go and go and just see who can do as much as we can, as we're going to roll straight in to the next game with the Legend of JJ versus Will, the other half of the coin of the Will Mushroom, I don't know, power couple of Clash Royale.
That's a weird way to phrase it, but
a weird way of phrasing that. I apologise to both of you.
I'm not going to argue with it. I'm not going to argue with it. They certainly do have some sort of relationship banter in the chat between the two of them. You know, it's good to see. I love it. I really do. And certainly a rivalry of some sort. But well, I'm not going to see it at the moment. As Mushroom, we saw, went out. JJ, he did beat him. Will he beat the other half? And the bans have come through. JJ has banned Graveyard once again, and Will has banned Poison, not Fireball this time. So, what are you thinking?
Well, interesting to ban Poison. I imagine he's shooting himself in the foot, having seen JJ ban Graveyard and go, well, I mean, I guess, you know, he doesn't really need it, does he, if there's no Graveyard, so I guess he could throw it away. It'll be interesting. I imagine Will's going to play with something more light on his feet then, because Poison is a great card of dealing with anything around the King Tower, or any tower, and any attacks even as well. It's just a great way of doing a bit of damage to everything, which is really nice. And yeah, JJ's consistent banning of Graveyard is unsurprised. Really just doesn't like that deck, does not want to have to deal with it, which is fair. And like I say, it's not the most fun thing to work with.
I just feel like he probably went into the ladder and he just kept on coming into people with Graveyard decks. He's going Graveyard deck lost, Graveyard deck lost, Graveyard deck lost, and just been, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm banning it, I'm not dealing with it. And well, as we see, he has banned it, and we'll have to see who does come out on top in these Clash of Champions. As we said, Will, he won last season, and JJ's won before in the, I believe it was the first one. We'll have to see who does come out on top. Sparky dropped right to the back by JJ. Musketeer going to be able to take down the cage. That does hold the Goblin. The Goblin is going to run loose. Should be taken down by the Sparky. Not able to do too much. And the Baby Dragon, he'll do a lot of damage onto the Sparky, but the minions, perfectly placed, are going to be able to take down that Baby Dragon.
And we're going to see JJ's very scary Sparky that we saw in the first game. It's going to be taken out here, but it's going to be followed behind by Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Goblin Giant. However, the Mega Knight's going to get a fair bit of damage, but that Goblin Giant with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. cleaning up, this is going to be a lot of damage to the Rad Tower. It's probably going to go, and it does.
Oh my God. That's unbelievable. What is that? You know what? I feel the same, Will. Like, Jesus, that is... As soon as it went down, you think, oh no, Will might be in trouble here. What can he counter it with? Oh no, he's not countering it. The Goblin Gauge is just not going to do it. And the P.E.K.K.A., you don't see it a lot. We don't see it a lot in the throughout this tournament. But he's very versatile, very good, and not too high HP. But the damage is phenomenal, as we just saw. The Goblin Giant soaking up all the damage, and he can just sit there and smack it with his tiny little sword that he uses to cook pancakes with. And he takes down the tower, gets him a massive advantage already, and, well, he's only done 700 damage on that right tower. He's going to be trying his hardest. He's not going to be out of this and not down or out by any means, as the Royal Giant's going to come in, tries to be countered and defended by the Musketeer and Dark Knight. But they are going to be able to take it down, as the tower doesn't fall just yet.
Indeed, it doesn't. We've got to have JJ with a pretty solid defense there against the Royal Giant. Not with the best cards in his hand. Probably, I guess, Mini P.E.K.K.A. would be his best call, but he didn't have that rotation. As it goes on the other side, he's going for the 3 crown. The Sparky, I think, is a distraction play. As we see how this defense goes on the right, looks like it's going to get cleaned up very quickly, even with the fireball. As the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Giant Goblin comes rushing in. Lumberjack's going to do a bit better job this time. No, it's not. Mini P.E.K.K.A. says no. Let's see. If the Mini P.E.K.K.A. connects, this could be all over for the 3 crown. Oh, is it going to be enough? Not quite, but it is on half damage.
Yeah, he raised his sword, couldn't quite fall it down, and we'll pull it down into the tower, and he does about stay alive. As the Sparky used defensively is going to do a lot of damage to that Royal Giant, who is going to get taken down by the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Dark Knight, and the counter defense is on. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to go down, but the Dark Knight's going to take down the cage. Musketeer there, chiming away, doing so much damage. The Sparky may continue to do damage, may get a hit off, but actually instead distracted by the Electro Spirits, as he almost gets another hit off, but the game's already over. As JJ, he was all over Will in that one, and he was, you know what, that early offense just completely cost him, and I don't think anyone expected that.
Here's the thing about the Mini P.E.K.K.A., okay? One of the things no one talks about when it comes to Clash Royale is actually the model size. The Mini P.E.K.K.A., especially behind a giant, can be really hard to see. So I am imagining, I don't know if Will even saw that coming, and then it's just like, oh no, there's a giant, oh, I can deal with that. Oh, wait a minute, there's a Mini P.E.K.K.A. who's being able to punch a huge amount of damage in every swing, as we roll straight into the next game. I'm very excited to see how this goes down. Let's see if JJ can keep this up as Will throws those hogs that he's well known for at the river.
Yeah, he is going to put them down, but they're not going to be able to do too much at all. The Electro Wizard and the Royal Ghost, are going to be able to take him down, no issue. Zappy is trying to counter it, and they will do. Take down the Electro Wizard. The Royal Ghost is going to stay alive just for a bit longer, and that does force Will's hand. Going to put down that Goblin Cage, and we said, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, that the Goblin Cage is very versatile. I mean, well, we see why this week. So many people have been using it, as it's very, very useful and pretty good for the cost of it. As a battle ram, well, that's not going to be able to. It's not going to see the light of the Goblin Cage as the Goblin's been unleashed. Battle ram is going to get taken down by the combination of the Flying Machine and the Electro Spirit, and the Barbs. They'll just about get 1 hit on the tower, and that is it.
Yeah, as that Flying Machine does a bit in its own, that's going to be quite a chunky amount of damage, but it's all playing very slow at the moment, waiting really for one big push to make it through. And these hogs, again, like last time, are going to be shut down by pretty much the same cards. But they are doing consistent damage, which is important. And that's exactly what you want as Will here. Just doing a little bit of damage every time, while JJ kind of struggles. I guess you could argue the Battle Ram is his main push weapon, though we haven't seen that really connect, where Will is relying on those hogs to make it through, and it is. As, yeah, the Zappies and Electro Spirit are going to shut down anything that is a charge-based weapon in this fight. As you can see, right, doesn't even need to do it there. It decides to wait until the shell's gone to finish them off.
Yeah, and well, you say about the little bit of damage, and this really could go either way for Will. Obviously, we saw on one of the maps that he did so much damage on both the towers, but couldn't take down one. But then we also saw, I think it was against CPL, was it? Actually, I'm not quite sure. I think it was because he went out first early. Or maybe it was. Well, obviously he had the mortar, and that was doing so much damage, and, well, the double tower hit basically sealed the deal for him, and he was able to win it. What can he bring out this time? As he does have a massive push coming through. The Royal recruits from both sides, along with joined by the Royal Hogs. They're going to do a lot of damage, not quite taking them down just yet. The Flying Machine's going to do a lot, but they can't quite take down the Bandit, as the Electro Wizard does come in to just about save her. There's a double Electro Wizard attack trying to come through from JJ, but they don't quite get close enough to the tower. They can't do any more damage on it, and Will, he's certainly looking in charge in this map.
Well, Will playing a very obvious split lane attack. I mean, it comes down to it that you've got to try and defend two sides. That's pretty difficult. However, that P.E.K.K.A., well, it might not do a great job. The Royal Guards have a shield mechanic, which means they will take 2 hits to kill no matter what, no matter how much damage they're doing. So they're going to jam up that P.E.K.K.A. for quite a while, as the right-hand side takes another massive beating. This is looking very strong for Will. If he's got a spell in that last slot, and he does, he can finish it off.
I was just going to say, you say on the right side, but the troops are so low HP, they could just go down. And then you look at the left side from JJ, he's got a Bandit, he's got a Battle Ram, he's got a P.E.K.K.A. It's looking very formidable. It could be a lot of damage there, but just in time, Will does take out that right tower. The Royal Hogs, the Royal Recruits, and the spell in the end, they're enough to take it. They do take down that tower, and they do draw it level to 1-1. And, well, we'll have to see what they both bring out in this final match.
Indeed we will. It's going to be very interesting to see from both of them. Will just cleaning it in there. Actually, not even just. He was very much in control of that entire fight. Split lane pushes meant that JJ was constantly on the defense, couldn't kind of stop having to defend with everything. And the P.E.K.K.A., it's great on defense. It's not great on split lane defense because it can only be in one place at once, especially against mob to split lanes, because, you know, you've got 4 of this and 3 of this, and then, you know, it's just a huge push. And the P.E.K.K.A. kind of, you know, does a lot of damage with one thing at a time. It's like, oh, you're dead. Give me a second. You're dead now. You get the picture.
Yeah, it really, I mean, we really saw exactly what the weakness was there. As perhaps we'll notice that JJ's just been trying to play with the P.E.K.K.A. a lot, and he does bring out the Royal Recruits. They are basically the perfect counters to it. I mean, as you said, they've got the shields. They do a lot of damage. As well, once again, it's going to bring out the Royal Hogs. What can he do? What else is different? Does bring out the Goblin Cage. We'll have to see if anything's slightly changed, or if he's going to go with the exact same deck that just previously worked. JJ obviously changing it up. He's going to bring out the Dark Knight, and actually the Musketeer as well at the back. Should be able to take down this Goblin from the cage, the very hairy Goblin, and he won't be able to land a hit on the tower. Fireball is going to neutralize and not quite kill the Musketeer, but she should fall victim to an arrow from the Princess Tower. As the Sparky once again brought out from JJ, and I was going to say this earlier, but the thing is with the Sparky, we said, oh, it's a bit of a distraction, but you've got to deal with the distraction. As if you don't, then it just does so much damage and can take down a tower by itself. As the Goblin Giant is once again brought out by JJ. He thought it worked in the first time. Try it again. Zappy's going to be stunning it, not let it get to the tower. As the Sparky at the back is going to do so much damage, takes out quite a few of them. But, well, the Zappies have got close enough. They are going to be stunning it, and they aren't going to be able to take or do any more damage to it. But the mini P.E.K.K.A. on the right side, he's still here, and he's ready to play. What can Will answer with?
Indeed, Will is having to play very quickly here to clean everything up. That Sparky is going to go down, thanks to well-played Barbarian Barrel there. And damage is pretty clean, all things considered. Will is playing his signature decks of fighting in 2 lanes, and JJ is arguably playing his new signature deck, or at least from what we've seen of tonight, which is Sparky, mostly to scare you into having to defend it, and then Goblin Giant with a mini P.E.K.K.A. behind it to actually do a lot of work. But the Zappies on Will's half of the map, alongside the Electro Spirits, is going to do so much damage against the Sparky. Well, it's not going to do damage, it's going to stop it from firing, because every Zap resets that attack. And as you can see, on the right-hand side, a load of Hogs allowed to get in and do a lot of damage for Will.
But as you said, the Zappy is obviously being very efficient. But I think the range is inferior to the Sparky, right? So obviously if they don't get close enough, then they can't do the stun damage and reset it. And they've obviously not been able to. They get taken down by the Sparky. And this defense on the right side is looking very good from JJ. As the Sparky at the back doing so much damage, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. as well. But they do get taken down by the numerous different Royal recruits, the Zappies and the Flying Machine too. And Will, he's saying, you want to play on that side? Let's play on that side. He puts down the Royal Hogs. The Fireball coming in too. They're going to do a lot of damage to that tower. Not quite enough to take it out, but a lot of sizable damage.
Indeed, but let's see if JJ can build up a good push here as we're about to enter extra time and only one tower needs to go down. It's the problem with the split push. Only one of those towers damage really matter. But there goes the Goblin Giant, not being able to make it as far. Zappy's really showing their worth here as Royal Hogs rush in both sides. Mini P.E.K.K.A.'s going to clean it up on the right. The left looking pretty weak and very open to a huge wave of attacks.
Yeah, this may be done as they get down to 289 HP. And the Fireball, I don't think he can quite take it out. So, yeah, he can't quite go for the Desperation move as Mushroom, if you learned, didn't work earlier. With JJ coming in with the counter-attack, but the Zappies are perfect, along with a Flying Machine, and we saw the split offense earlier from Will. He did so much damage to both towers. So JJ, he didn't do any damage to either of the towers. It's not like he had specific damage onto one. And, well, it works out for Will. The Royal Hogs go through, the Dark Knight isn't able to counter them, and will take that final map and take it 2-1 in a best of 3 and go through to, I believe, the grand final.
Indeed, indeed he will. That's very interesting to see Will make it this far. Well done to Will. It's deeply impressive. JJ not being able to show what we've seen for them. I guess the decks really were the issue. JJ relies on a lot of one big hits, P.E.K.K.A. and Sparky. He likes to bring that kind of one-punch win where he was countered by Will in the split lanes and a lot of stuff that you just can't one-shot out of there. Sparky did some work, but couldn't quite make it through. And yes, Will effectively found the deck to beat JJ in general.
Yeah, and this is the replay of the first map. And, well, after JJ just pushed through on a massive push on the left side, Will, he just couldn't bring it back. And despite how much he tried, did damage, but couldn't quite get the win. And what we said about the Sparky, it was a massive nuisance, but wasn't too much of an issue in that first one, and definitely not the last two. As we see the second map, Will, with that split attack, doing so much damage to both towers. The P.E.K.K.A., we said, completely neutralized, not able to do too much at all. And the push on the right side is perfect. 3 Royal Recruits just taking down that Royal Ghost, nothing able to counter it. It gets the damage in the Flying Machine as well. JJ, he just dumps down so much in return. Dumps down the Battle Ram, dumps the Electro Wizard. And at the end, it's what can get to the tower. And that's the right side push with the Flying Machine, the Royal Recruits.
Indeed, indeed. I feel basically the first match only went JJ's way because Will was caught off guard by that Mini P.E.K.K.A. The rest of it, Will definitely showed control, definitely showed a good choice of decks to counter everything that was going on, and it was just extremely well played by Will to get through this. This last push not quite being enough, and the Royal Hogs, they're not guaranteed damage, but they're the next best thing.
Yeah, they really are, and, well, you see exactly why. As Will, he does come out on top, and, well, he's in for a rematch versus SoProBro. He lost to him earlier in the upper bracket final, 2-1, and, well, SoProBro, he has a one-map advantage now already, as we, if you've been watching the last few weeks, actually, I believe the last season as well, it is a best of 5 in the final, so we'll have to see quite how well it goes, if Will can bring it back in perhaps a reverse sweep, perhaps just straight 3-1. SoProBro, he's been a very strong contender. I believe did he win that first week? Or he's been strong. Had 2 weeks off, but very strong in the first week at least. And, well, can Will bring it back? At least he's not third this time. Even he's guaranteed second.
That is true. At least he's going to break the rut of going third. Fresh finalists, that's for sure, Will versus SoProBro. Will has banned his old favourite, well, he's his old favourite to ban at least, Fireball. I don't want to get hit by anything like that. Understandable. And SoProBro has gone, no, air, don't. So Lava Hound, get out. So I'm imagining a lot less worry about the buildings, a lot less worry about dealing with the airs. Are we going to see SoProBro's Hog Rider? Probably not. I think I'm overplaying it more than anything else. I just want to see it happen. I love Hog Riders. They're great. But there's so many other options you could also pick from. We are very happy to be sponsored by Unite Students, Logitech G, and Twitch students, being able to get this show on the road, and hopefully the show on the road of the next game real soon. I'm very excited for tonight's final. It's been such a great night of games.
It really has, and it's looking, as you say, looking to shape up to continue to be that way as we do get into the grand final, a rematch, and is he going to be able to achieve revenge, or will SoProBro come out on top and establish dominance? And we'll have to see what Will can bring out. Obviously, he did win one map, Will he bring out that deck again? Obviously, he knows it worked, but will SoProBro have a perfect counter to it? I'm assuming he's going to be a bit of a dummy if he didn't watch that match versus JJ. Obviously, very quite tight for Will. So hopefully, SoProBro will have watched that and have learned and perhaps picked up some slightly different decks on what to counter Will's split push with.
And SoProBro, having come through the upper bracket, will give him a 1-game advantage. That's going to be particularly helpful in this situation. Maybe it's a game just to work out what Will's playing, though I think we know Will's going to probably run a split deck to start with. Or is he just going to take that as an advantage and run with it and only try and get 2 wins and finish this quickly? Because finals have gone pretty quickly so far this tournament here, the midweek. But this has been one amazing set of games tonight. And I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure it will, this final will be the icing on the cake for what has been a great evening of Clash Royale here at the Newell.
It really is, and I hope this continues with these weeks. We've seen some fantastic games between all these top tier players. We've got CPL, we've got SoProBro, we've got Will, we've got Mushroom when he's not playing meme decks, and obviously JJ as a new entry, he's looking formidable. Even some of the underdogs, like we've seen Samstar and Ivanovic, they've shown potential. So if they switch up the decks, if they get the playstyle just right, then there's still a chance that they're in this, and I'm looking forward. It's looking very stacked. The deck, or the skill gap, sorry, it's closing, and it can be anyone's game at this point. Not this week, but in the tournament.
No, not this week. This week there are only 2. But I think JJ's new almost wild card entry is going to shake things up for the usual faces or players here at the Newell as we run into the finals. SoProBro coming in with that 1-game advantage, and Will now with the Sparky down there at the bottom.
Ooh, that's definitely an odd play. Perhaps he's learned from JJ. Perhaps he was hoping that SoProBro wouldn't expect it. Maybe he's had enough of the Sparky himself. As SoProBro bringing out something I don't think we've actually seen as of this week so far. The Princess, which is quite a versatile card, but let's see if she sees much usage. And I think Will may have just stolen JJ Legend's deck. He's got the Sparky, got the Zappy, he's got the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and oh no.
He's got nearly everything. However, he has let those wall breakers run through, and that is a lot of damage on the right-hand tower. SoProBro looks like he's playing log bait, that's for sure, with the Goblin Barrel and, well, the Princess and the wall breakers. Kind of log bait variation, if you will. And this cannon cart can do a lot of damage. Both sides looking very good for SoProBro right now. Will hasn't really been able to push him with anything much yet.
I think it's, I'm assuming one of those 2 last cards might be a Goblin Giant, and it's smart from Will to go with something different. The fact that he's been playing, as we said, a split push this entire time, if he just changes it up, steals JJ's deck, and goes with a single lane offensive, SoProBro will have absolutely, he would not have expected that. Why would you ever have expected that? But well, instead, he has got a smart play. He's going with that Goblin Barrel doing a lot of chip damage, and the wall breakers as well. And we see that final card, it is the Hunter. He's looking ahead so far, obviously in terms of elixir as well, and definitely in terms of HP damage on the towers. And there we go, the Goblin Giant, we said about it, and he brings out the Dark Knight too. Can he get to the tower? Can he do the damage? We'll have to see as they do continue to push through, and the Goblin Giant is going to go down. Dark Knight almost taken out, his shield's gone, but the Sparky's still alive. He's raged up as well. He's looking to do damage, but he is distracted by the wall breakers, takes out only one, as one does just about get through, but the bats do take him down. The Princess, in return, is going to be on the bridge, doing a bit of damage, but does get taken down by the Zappies. And it's good damage from Will, but, well, is he able to get completely back into this as we do get into double elixir?
Yes, indeed, as we get there, it's very interesting to see Will decide, okay, I've just beaten this deck, let's use it. Yeah, it takes a bold decision to make. However, it doesn't look like it's completely playing in his favour. SoProBro with a lot of damage on both of those towers. However, Will just needs a good push on the right to make it through. Let's see. This Sparky, like we said, is mostly a distraction, mostly trying to get you to panic to it. Well, it could make a hit here, as the Goblin Barrel hits in on the right, allowing for a lot of damage for SoProBro. That's a fair bit to be added to the heap. But the Goblin Giant is making a push with the Dark Knight behind, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. We've seen how powerful this can be. It's not going to quite be enough. Doesn't look like it. It's going to get shut down just on the out. No, it is.
The wall breakers coming in just in handy as the perfect defense card. The Dark Knight is going to get 2 hits on that tower. And well, you know what? Will, he's got a lot of damage done to both of his towers, both of them around 1,000 HP. But SoProBro, one of his towers is on 500. He's lower, and Will, he just needs that little extra squeeze to get through. Willie, we'll have to find out as he drops the Sparky. Goblin Barrel coming back out again for SoProBro, and they're going to get a few hits off, but not enough to take it down. Two princesses on the right side doing a lot of chip damage to the Sparky, and actually get distracted by the skeletons. He drops the giant, the Goblin Giant on the right side. Princess at the back again doing more damage, and he's going to actually switch it up. He's going to try and get to the right side, and it's perhaps not the wisest decision.
Yeah, I don't know why he's decided he's going to push on the right side when the left side is clearly where he should be going for. He wants to forget the right side exists, because that's where Superbro has that huge advantage he's going to try and play off here. And it looks like he's kind of given up on the side he was doing so well on, as Superbro isn't. He's going to try and get some damage in.
Oh no, these wall breakers could be crucial. They get zapped, and the Dark Knight just in time is going to clutch it. He's going to be able to get it down, but the Bandit, she's going to go out. She's going to finish off that Dark Knight. Another Goblin Barrel coming out, and they may just
might
be able
be
to
it.
squeeze through.
Not quite. It's
yeah,
so close here. With this right push, though, looking pretty strong. The Giant goes down, which weakens it massively. And this Goblin Barrel coming in could be the end of the game. And it is. Almost looked like the Sparky shot the tower there. It wasn't quite. I'm pretty sure that was the Goblin Barrel. But yes. Superbro taking that first game and leaving himself with that 2-0 advantage. Only got to win one more to take the set. Let's see if he can roll this like he's been rolling the entire week. It's very impressive to see.
Yeah, it really is. And I think the thing, obviously, Will going for a different deck, as we've said, almost working out for him. I think the thing that screwed him really was the initial damage. He didn't, I don't think he personally to me, he didn't look comfortable playing with the deck. And so much, within the first minute, there was so much damage done to both those towers, and he couldn't quite counter it. And I think if he didn't have that done to him, if he could have another push on the left side with the extra time, obviously from the damage that he wouldn't have sustained, he could have won that map, definitely, obviously bringing it back. But unfortunately, it just doesn't go that way. And the Goblin Barrel, as we saw, he didn't have a barrel card. He didn't have a Barbarian Barrel. He didn't have just a log to counter it. The Zap, it's not good enough, and they continuously just got in hits. And that's, at the end of the day, those as well as the wall breakers sneaking through, that's what cost him that map.
Indeed. I mean, for Will to decide, okay, we're doing well. Let's use the deck we've just beaten and bring it out. I mean, it's random. It's unexpected. And he did surprisingly well with it. But it wasn't, what we needed to win here. As Superbro takes that first game, giving him a 2-0 advantage. And what could be the final fight of the game. Will's decided to learn from how good that Goblin Barrel was. And pack Tornado specifically for it. As it looks like Superbro may be running the same deck.
We always say that, and I always say that, but then they always pull out a different card at the end. We'll have to see if he does. As Will, as we said, he's learned his lesson. He's got the Tornado, he's got the Barbarian Barrel as well. He's going with what he's sticking with what he knows. Prince on the left side, slightly different card, but the charge damage doesn't find any sort of a home to be found. As the Bandit, the dash is going to take that out, neutralize it. And the Goblin Barrel, along with the Bandit, is going to do a lot of damage on the left side. The Princess on the right chipping away as well. She's going to get taken down with the Baby Dragon. And, at the moment, Superbro, he does have the advantage. But, if there's a person, if there's a player to bring back the advantage and win the map, it's going to be Will.
Indeed it is. And Will definitely looking, especially with the deck he's running. We're not yet to see the last two cards. Looks like the Prince is the aim of the game. But Superbro is going for beautiful log bait, or as it seems to be here, barrel bait. Very interesting to see how this plays out. He does at least have the barrel to counter it as he does so. Oof, not quite. I thought the barrel was going to one-shot the Princess, but she's made it through, and that's actually going to play into things quite nicely for Superbro.
That obviously the King Tower activated earlier is going to be able to chime in and help do damage against the Goblin Barrel, but it's just not enough. It's still doing all that chip damage. The Prince completely neutralized by that Royal Recruit coming from the sky, which we said about the shield. It's such a good mechanic. He's countering against high damage cards like the P.E.K.K.A., like the Prince. And at the moment, he's just kind of running into a wall. And, not really getting anywhere. Goblin Cage isn't really trying to counter that Bandit. It's going to stay alive and just about. But Will, as we get into double elixir, he's going to make some sort of push here. And he's still got two cards that we haven't actually seen yet.
Indeed. And I'm hoping he's got something very powerful as the barrel deals with the Goblin Barrel, as the ball breakers come in and effectively give Superbro two choices on which tower he wants to use as the Electro Giant. A card, as we know, if it makes it to the tower, will do a lot of work, comes into play, especially combined with the Tornado, as I was saying earlier. It allows you to do a lot of stun. However, it doesn't look like it's going to quite make it, and another set of wall breakers are going to be sorted up this time. That's going to be very depressing for Will, that Electro Giant doing nothing. And now Superbro needs to decide which tower does he want to take out.
Yeah, he does. There's both solo HP, and Will He's done a bit of damage to that right tower, and you know what? He's not out of it, especially if we get, well, we're in double elixir now, and the Electro Giant, that's exactly where he shines. But so Probro, he's not going to stop there. He's going to put two wall breakers on the right side, and they're not going to quite connect. The first one does, the second one not so much, as the Goblin Barrel comes in on the left side, do a lot of damage, and it's down to 500 HP, as Will's going to continue to push through. This time on the left side, Electro Giant not quite getting there. It's going to get taken down, but the Prince directly behind him isn't going to get there either. The Roller Crew is going to fly from the sky, and he's going to take him down, along with the Bandit, and this is looking also Pro Bro's game.
I like this Royal Recruit backup coming in. But it does look very good for Soap Bro with the Goblin Barrels flying over, not being able to connect this time. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Can he get a good barrel through? Can he somehow bait out that Barbarian barrel to make a push? As he goes in again with another. He's rotated so fast that back Goblin's going to do a lot of work. Hey, and there it is! The last Goblin clinging onto its health, just able to get that final stab on the tower and give the 3-0 victory to Soap Bro, who has done amazingly this week at the Newell and has shown Will that he is definitely in charge of this week and a well-deserved winner. Oh.
Yeah, we said about him obviously winning the upper bracket 2-1, and now he wins in a quite swift 3-0 fashion. Something different from Will. We haven't seen it too much, and we'll have to see if he can own that sort of deck and hone it, sorry, and perhaps bring it back into next week with something different and change it up, swap it about, and perhaps shock everyone. Put on intended with the Sparky card, but we'll have to see. Obviously, second place still very good. He's got a lot of points, and that is going to contribute for a better seeding within the final tournament on the final week. I do get halfway through now. He's looking very good in the leaderboards. But you know what, So Bobo, despite being absent for 2 weeks, he comes back and wins it, and he's going to have to stick around for these next few weeks to actually be able to stick in this tournament and get high points himself.
True, this is the thing. Sobro having these couple weeks off has left him kind of open. I mean, winning this has been great, but he's not going to score highly unless he can get a few more games in and a few more victories. Even like, you know, third or fourth with one victory, he can look to do well. As you can see from that push, relying on the Goblin Bow to work it through. And he effectively did the same thing in both games. Will really struggled to kind of find anything. I really think Will should have opted for his well-known and staple split lane pushes. I think Sobro would have struggled with them more. Maybe that's personal opinion aside. Hunter and Princess could have done the job, I imagine. But yes, Sobro able to take control of both games, challenge both towers pretty consistently, and a lot of basically kind of played a split lane push with a log bait, and was able to do extremely well, winning both the games we had in our grand finals tonight, and just being great player. We've seen some amazing games this week.
We really have, especially from him, and actually from a lot of the players. As we actually have got an update on the current scoreboard and the points. There's 10 points between the leader and the second place player. CPL at the top, Mushroom very close behind, Will in third place, actually not too far behind, and then SoPro, as we said, he's won this week, and obviously in the first week he did do very well, but the 2 weeks off have cost him, and he's in currently fourth place. We'll have to see if JJ Legend quite low down on the scoreboard, but if he does play more weeks, we've seen the potential. He can get the wins. If he does get these wins, he's definitely up there and possible to play with the big boys.
Indeed. Chocoholic and Mushroom, 10 points between them at the top. This is so close. As you can see, really great players here at the Newell. We've got to thank once again Unite students, Logitech, and Twitch student for being able to get the show on the road. It's just been so good. Tomorrow, we'll have CSGO here on the Newell, and next week, some equally good action here on Clash Royale. You got something else to add, Ant, for this week before I kick us out the door quickly?
We're Valorant again on Sundays, I believe. So, always good production, always good to see, always great games and great gameplay that we... make sure you tune in for future. If you aren't following the Twitch channel already, make sure you do. And if you're not following them on Twitter, make sure you're following them there as well. And I've been Ampulio, and my co-caster here, Dr. Watson.
Yes, well, I'm very excited for next week. It's going to be chaotic and hopefully just as good as this. If you haven't, join the Newell Discord. If you're thinking you're going to university soon, I'm very excited to do so. You can join in quickly and meet a load of other Clash Royale players. And if you are at university right now and want to join in, feel free to join. As you know, you can join at any point during the tournament and still do extremely well. Next week, we'll be back with Counterfeit and Rook. It has been Dr. Watson and Ampolio. The stream will now be raiding... I've always got to check this one because, you know what it's like. We will be raiding who? Will be Vixie. They are streaming League of Legends, and they are a member of the Newell team, and we highly recommend you go and join that train. I've been Dr. Watson64. He's been Ampolio. With Patrick on the desk. We will see you all, well, in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.